What's happening, everybody? We had several questions on the last time that I did a video comparing the D500 Nikon to the D850 Nikon, and basically what I'm doing is trying to see what kind of image you can get out of the 850 if you crop it to the same size that's on the D500, considering the D850 is 45 megapixels and the D500 is 20 megapixels. So what I'm going to do is I've got the D500 set up with a 70 to 200 lens. This is the Tamron, and my composition is going to be the sign right here, and I've got the sign touching the top of the frame and the bottom of the frame. I'm going to have everything set up exactly the same for both cameras, and then we're going to go back in and crop the 850 to the same size as the D500, which is why I've got the sign touching the top and bottom of the frame, so that it's easy for me to crop and get it right. And then I want to compare noise to an extent, bokeh to an extent, but mainly the size. So by having it set up this way, and I've got the sign, you see the mall entrance back here in the back, that's going to be in the bokeh. I'm going to have the camera set up on the exact same settings like I said. Because the D500 is a crop sensor, that's going to be my control camera, because I've got to adjust the 850 image to fit what comes off of 500. So my settings with the current light, and the light shouldn't change on us, is ISO 200, f2.8 at 1/1250th of a second. And I'm going to get this shot real quick. Get it set up, locked into focus, and here's the image. So that's the D500. I'm going to switch cameras real quick, leaving it in the exact same spot. I'm going to have it on 200 millimeters, which is where I've got the lens set. So everything's going to be exactly the same, other than I'm changing the bodies at this particular moment. So give me just a second. Alright, so now I've got the 850 body on the same lens, exact same spot, and I'm about to get the settings exactly the same, which is ISO 200, f2.8 at 1/1250th of a second, and I'm going to take the picture. Obviously the sign will now not touch the bottom and the top of the frame. That's where I'm gonna have to crop down to, so I can compare sizes afterwards. But one other thing I didn't mention is I do have both cameras set up to shoot both RAW and JPEG on the largest and highest quality that each camera can do. So let me get this set up and take that shot. Alright, we've got that. You can see, maybe not, but you will see here in a minute when we put it on the computer. So, I've got the control shots. Now we just need to see what we got. Stand by. One day, I'll have a studio set up, so this won't be our angle. But I've got the photos from the 500 and the D850 downloaded onto the computer, and I'm just about to pull them into Lightroom. It's going to take me just a second to get it where it's recording the screen, so you're looking at me while I do that. And like I said, I have not edited them yet. All I've done is transfer them to the computer. We need to go here, recording on the screen. Alright, so let's pull the files over. I shot 2 images out of each camera. Again, the settings were exactly the same. Basically what I'm trying to do is crop it down, save it, and then compare the sizes as well as the bokeh, the light, that type thing. Alright, so I've got them importing. Okay. So these first 2 are the D500. You see I'm at the bottom here, got just a small gap at the top of the frame for both of them, so I'm gonna have to crop these two, which is the 850, the same way. All right, so let's bring that in and see if we can't get it just about alike. ENTRA. If I hit done here, that is just about the same. Just a tad more on the top. Like that. And we'll do this other one the same way. All right, so that's the 850, 850, 500, and the 500. As far as light, it actually looks like the 850. At least the background is a little bit brighter on the 850. Talking about the brown here compared to the brown here, and you can see the black and the shadows on the 500 there a lot more than you can here. So the 850 actually may be a tad brighter. So let's see if we can see anything with noise. This brown ought to show us the grain in here a little bit. Then we're going to do the same thing on the 850. Let it finish rendering. The noise looks very comparable. So I mean, it's virtually the same image right now out of both. Now I have not done any editing as far as profile adjustments, but we can do that. You can see no noise reduction. All right, so let's go to the lens profile. And now that we've got that, we'll do that for all four. All right, so we got that. It's 850, 850, 500 is definitely darker on both of theirs. Either darker or, yeah, it's darker on the D500 than it is the D850. So, as far as what camera to recommend, they're going to give you the same images. The D500 shoots a little faster in frames per second, so you know that's going to be completely up whether that's what you want to do or not. But we're gonna look at the JPEGs here and check out the size difference real quick. If you got the money for the 850, I think it's a better portrait camera. It's a full frame. 500 is a crop sensor. So technically, you know, or realistically speaking, people look at the D500 and think it's a crop sensor. I'm getting further reach with it. We're about to look right here at these images as soon as I find them. Okay, D500 is 8.81 megabytes, and that's no adjustments other than the lens profile. And it's 5568 by 3712. That's the D500. The D850 is 7.54 megabytes when I crop it down to the same size, and it's 5377 by 3585. So to get the same image out of the, let me pull this back up, the same image out of the 850 that you get without any cropping out of the 500, it's just slightly smaller than what the D500 image is. And when I say slightly smaller, I'm talking about 200 by 130 pixels. So make your own decision. By the way, if you like this content, hit subscribe, hit like, feel free to share, leave me a comment on some other stuff you'd like to see in the future. Otherwise, check out some of these other videos up here, and we will see you next time.